Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are going to tackle a topic that can feel, well, a little intimidating, investing. But let's just forget all the complicated jargon. Forget the scary-looking charts for a minute. We're going to boil it all down to one single super powerful idea: how to get your money to start working for you instead of the other way around. So, let me ask you something, straight up. Right now, is your money just sitting there? In a savings account maybe? Or is it actually out there working for you, growing, building the future that you're dreaming about? That difference right there, that is the power of investing. Okay, so here's how we're going to break this all down today. Super simple. First, we'll talk about why you should even bother investing. Then, we'll get into the what, the different types of investments out there. And finally, the most important part, the how. We'll walk through the first steps you can take to get started.
All right, let's dive into our first section, the purpose of investing. Because honestly, before we talk about stocks or bonds or anything else, you've got to be really clear on why this matters to you.
And when you look at all the most popular guides out there for beginners, the experts, they all circle back to the same three big reasons. It's pretty consistent, so let's take a look at what those are. Okay, here they are, the big three. First up, and this is the one everybody thinks of, building long-term wealth. Obvious, right? But just as crucial is the second one, beating inflation. We'll talk more about this, but it's like this silent thief that eats away at your savings. And finally, number three, it's about planning for those huge life goals. Buying a house, retiring comfortably, maybe that dream trip you've always wanted to take. So, what exactly is this inflation thing? Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a slow leak in your tire. It's the reason a coffee that cost $1 years ago costs way more today. Your money, it just buys less over time. And here's the kicker. If your savings aren't growing at a rate that's faster than inflation, you are technically losing money every single day. You're losing purchasing power, and you might not even feel it. Okay, so we've got the why down. That's the motivation. Now let's get into the what. This section is all about the different types of investments. Think of these as the actual tools in your toolbox for building that future you want. I absolutely love this analogy of planting a money tree. It's perfect, because it gets at the heart of this almost magical concept called compounding. See, it's not just that your initial investment, your little seed, grows. The real magic is that the earnings from your seed start to grow their own earnings. It's like a snowball rolling downhill, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. This isn't about getting rich overnight. It's about patience and letting that snowball grow over years and years. So what kind of seeds can you plant? Well, let's look at a few of the most common ones for beginners. First, you've got stocks. When you buy a stock, you're literally buying a tiny piece of a company, like Apple. Then there are bonds. With a bond, you're not buying ownership. You're basically giving a loan to a government or a big company, and they promise to pay you back with interest. And of course, there's real estate, buying an actual physical property.
Now, for most people just starting out, the big conversation is usually about stocks versus bonds, and it really is a balancing act. Think of it like this. Stocks are the engine of your portfolio. They're all about growth, but they can be a bumpy ride. The risk is higher. Bonds, on the other hand, are like the brakes or the suspension. They're about stability. The risk is lower, but so are the potential returns. That's why so many people have a mix of both. You're trying to get that growth while also keeping the ride from getting too wild.
Okay, we've covered the why, we've covered the what. Now for my favorite part, and probably the most important part for you, the how. Let's get into your first investing steps. This is where we stop talking and start doing. And look, if there's one thing I want you to take away from this whole thing, it's this. Please, do not be intimidated by all this. Seriously, getting started is way simpler than most people think. You don't need to be some Wall Street genius. You don't need a pile of cash to begin. It's really just about taking that first step. So what does that first step actually look like? Well, it's really a three-step path. Number one, define your goal. Get specific. What are you actually saving for? A house? Retirement? That trip to Italy? Write it down. Number two, choose your account. This is just the container for your investments. You can open something called a brokerage account or a retirement account online, literally in like 10 minutes. And number three, pick your investments. And for beginners, a fantastic place to start is with something called an index fund. Think of it as a basket that holds hundreds or even thousands of different stocks all at once. It's instant diversification, which is a great way to manage risk. All right, so let's just do a super quick recap of everything we've talked about. The big takeaways are: investing is how you flip the script and make your money start working for you. Its main purpose? To build up wealth over the long haul and to fight off that silent killer, inflation.
And most importantly, you can get started, like today, with just those 3 simple steps.
And that's pretty much it. We've covered the why, the what, and the how. The only questions left are when and who. And the answer to both is you, starting right now. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought to chew on. What's that one future goal that you're going to start investing for today?